Are you fed up with dry chicken breasts and overcooked shrimps? No matter how much care you put into your big Sunday barbecue, it always gets too tough to eat, and you know deep down inside that your family praises your cooking just so that you don't feel bad. I know the feeling. Actually, that's a lie. I don't know that feeling because, unlike you, I brine my meat. I am the food scientist, and I'm here to answer all the lingering questions you had about cooking and the science involved in brining. So, what is brining? Brining is the process of submerging meat in a salt solution. That's it. So, how do you brine? The best brine, in my opinion, is a 8% salt solution. That means that for every liter of water, you need to dissolve 80 grams of salt in it. The submerged meat must be kept in a refrigerator. After the desired duration of brining, you must dip the meat in fresh water for an hour. It stops the meat from curing and results in a much juicier meat. So, how long to brine? Duration of the brine depends upon the type and size of meat. Turkey meat is denser than chicken and takes longer to brine. Similarly, a whole chicken takes longer to brine than 4/4 of the same chicken. The rule of thumb is the smaller the pieces, the quicker they will brine. Seafood takes minutes to brine. Shrimps can be brined in less than 15 minutes. And brined shrimps will not be flimsy and will have a better bite to them. They also won't overcook as easily. Freshwater fish demands to be brined. Brining takes away the muddy taste and enhances the flavor of the freshwater fish. And why should we brine? Brining helps the meat to retain water, making it juicier. It also firms up the texture of the meat, giving it a good bite, which specially works wonders on chicken breast and shrimps. What do doctors recommend if you suffer with dehydration? They ask you to drink ORS, oral rehydration solution. And what's in ORS, have you ever wondered? It's a salt and sugar solution. Basically, salt helps your muscles to retain water. That's why professional bodybuilders stop their salt intake few days before a competition. Without salt in their muscles, they lose water weight and gain a lot of muscle definition. That's why I say there are no winners in a bodybuilding competition. And this harmful weight cutting practice isn't limited to bodybuilding. All athletes competing in weight classes do the same. Professional MMA fighters, boxers, Olympic wrestlers, you name it and they do it. Fun fact, did you know that drinking water in Brazil has a lot higher concentration of sodium than normal? Therefore, professional MMA fighters buy distilled water from pharmacies to drink. It's so common that when UFC goes to Brazil, the pharmacies actually sell chilled distilled water to the fighters. With no salt in the water, the fighters can lose weight easily through dehydration. Anyways, coming back to the topic, when you submerge meat in a salt solution, the salt travels from the higher concentration to the lower concentration of salt. This process is called osmosis, and that's why you need an 8% water solution. That percentage is very important. Osmosis has a far superior penetration than marination. Here is a piece of meat marinated in vinegar and oil-based marinade overnight. We added green dye to the marinade to see how far does the marinade penetrates. As you can see, the marinade hardly penetrated the surface of the meat. However, with brining, you get 100% penetration. Brining changes the meat on molecular level. The meat fiber gets closer and denser, and when cooked, traps the water inside the meat. Here is a cross-sectional view of chicken. You can see how brined chicken have a different and more denser texture than unbrined chicken, and how efficient it will be in trapping the water inside the meat when cooked. A wise man once said, "Gaining knowledge is the first step to wisdom. Sharing it is the first step to humanity." In Urdu we say, "Insan bano, video share karo." So if you have learned something new today, please share. Not for me, do it for humanity. If you like my videos, I have a whole channel on YouTube where I upload recipe videos with scientific explanations. Do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your time. Food Scientist, signing off.